So good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another collaboration video of the Shield Doing a Couch. I'm again joined by Señorita Sabrosura, and today we have a topic that that Gene Simmons of Kiss has been saying for years that rock is dead. So the concept of this video, we're going to talk about rock ain't dead, bands that you should know. And we're going to talk about bands that maybe are, some may be better known than others, some may not. And we're going to start by Mari, who was in Europe like a few weeks ago, and she went to the Mad Cool Festival in Madrid. And apparently she had a great time. I saw the pictures. It seemed like you had fun. So each of us, we're going to talk about three bands. We're going to say why we think you should know that band and why we think it's cool. And maybe you'll learn from some new music today and you'll check it out. If you already know them, great. If not, check them out. So I'm going to have my guest, Mari, start. Uh, Again today. So, Mari, first of all, how are you, man? How are you? Good night.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, hanging in there, in this horrible summer heat.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
So
Today
I know you went to the Mad Cool and you saw a few of the bands that you're gonna talk about. First of all, that I had never heard of that concert, Mad Cool, but it looked like really fun, very eclectic bunch of artists.
yeah. Mekul is like a relative new festival. I think they started like maybe 2015, 16, something like that. Um, but I really like it because it's very eclectic. It has like electronic. It has your popular main bands, mainstream. But the cool thing I like it's you can discover new bands, and that's what happened to me. Like I went because I wanted to see some bands like The Killers, Placebo, Metallica, Florence, and The Machine, Pixies, but I also saw other bands like Brutus, Amyl and the Sniffers, The Struts, Youngblood, like really cool bands. And that's one thing I like about festivals. And that festival remind me a lot of the Riot Fest that they do in Chicago. It had the same layout, the same vibe, like very chill, and it made me think that, and that's what I told you, like Rocking Dead, there's still pretty cool bands doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the first band, like I was like I never heard of that band before, but I know they're, and it's not a new band. I think they've been since like 2018, 19. It's Amyl and the Sniffers.
Well, that's relatively new. And
Yeah,
here we have the cover of their last album, Comfort Me.
yeah. They're an Australian pop rock, punk rock band from Melbourne, Australia. And now it's when people are noticing them because they're playing like major festival. They play at Mad Cool, they play the Primavera Sound and some other festivals. Uh, and it's definitely a band you have to see live. Like the singer Amy, she's like a human tornado. She has this raw energy. The music is really good. Their influences are like Iggy Pop and the Stooges, The Dam. She said Minor Threat, Ceremony, AC. Oh, and look at her when they ask her what are her influences: AC/DC, Dolly Parton, Cardi B.
Yeah,
Like,
and she kind of looks like you remember Wendy Williams, who was
oh
like a
yes,
punk rocker. She looks like her, like that style. And I was listening to that album, and it's pure punk rock energy, like super fun band. I really dig it, and they have that retro punk sound.
It's like fast, loud, like razor sharp. And they have some diehard fans like right there in the front with them. I like it's like very raw energy. Like she remind me a little bit of like Patti Smith, that attitude, like Courtney Love, maybe like very badass. Uh, but I don't know. It's a band you have to see live. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I could see all those influences and a little bit of Courtney Love, yeah, too. Those early whole
Yeah.
albums, but more punk rockish with the Wendy Williams as well. Yeah, no, I listened. You talked to me about that band, I think, earlier in the year, and I thought, yeah, they're really cool. They have a few albums out. They're fairly new, but yeah, they sound like a band that would be amazing to see live, and you got to see them live, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and the name of the band, it's Amyl. It comes from the poppers. Poppers is like a drug that you smell and get like a little dizzy, a little headache. And she says, well, our music is like that, like when you inhale the popper. So that's why they're called Amyl and the Sniffers, because she said like if you listen to our music, you're gonna get a headache, like.
Yeah. When I went to raves, I didn't do those drugs, so I got high off the bigs.
Yeah, but definitely I recommend it. And if you can catch it live, don't doubt it. Like go and see them.
See them. So on that vein of like super energetic bands, I haven't seen this band live, but it's a band that I really want to see. They've been blowing up. They put out an album back last year. The name of the band is Turnstile, and Turnstile is a hardcore band with a hardcore alternative band from Baltimore, Maryland. And in 2018, they signed to Roadrunner Records when they released Time and Space. And after that, they blew up. And last year, they released this album that's called Glow On. And well, I don't know, have you heard this band, Maddie?
I started listening today. It's like it remind me of those Hot Topic year, like emo, hardcore, punk.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have
People from the my customer from Hot Topic will like that band.
Yeah, no, they're really cool, and I haven't seen them live, but I wish I would. And this album was in my top albums of the years last year. I don't have it on vinyl, so but it's a great band. Uh, Glow On to me is their most accessible commercial album to date, but that doesn't mean it doesn't kick ass. And I would recommend for people who have not listened to the band to listen to the singles Mystery, Holiday, and Blackout. Those are all on the Glow On. Time and Space is also a great album, but I like Glow On a little bit better. And they're very energetic, and they played in Jimmy Fallon. They've been at talk shows, so they're getting lots of attentions. They're selling records, and it's when do you see like a hardcore band playing on TV? So it's a great thing for rock and metal, rock metal, hardcore, that this band is getting the attention that it's getting. And it's really, it's really good. When I listen to Turnstile, I go back to being 16, like 16, like that age, like
It might be my Hot Topic years.
And skaters would love it. It's funk music, and the songs aren't that like long, and they mix some hip hop also on some of the songs on Glow On. And I'm telling you, Glow On made a lot of the list last year of album in the top albums. It was on every list. I think almost a lot of lists had that album, and Time and Space as well. And they signed Roadrunner Records, which is a big record label, signed a hardcore band. The thing is, hardcore can be limiting, but they mix different elements of like with the hip hop alternative to the hardcore, and that's what makes the band stand out from other hardcore bands. So if you haven't listened to Turnstile, I would recommend Glow On. Just put it on and have fun. It's a super fun record.
Yeah, I was listening to that band while I was cooking, and it was like cooking and
Yeah, I can't wait to see them live. I'm sure it would be an amazing show.
Okay, well, my next band, it's a band that Dave Grohl said it was the best band that had ever opened to Foo Fighters. They also have opened to Rolling Stones and some other big bands. It's the Struts.
Yeah, you know that I missed them. When I saw Foo Fighters in 2018, the Struts were opening, but I got there late, so I missed them.
Oh,
But yeah,
they
they're
were-
a pretty cool band. Here's the picture of the Struts, and they have that retro. They look like the Rolling Stones mixed with the darkness.
Yeah, well, they say some of their influences are the Darkness, Queen, Rolling Stones, the Leppard, and even the Killers, New York Dolls. Um, I like them, and I couldn't see them. I only listened to them at MedCool because they put them in like in a very small venue in a small stage inside a tent. So it was like full. So we listened to the band outside the tent, but we couldn't see them, but we were listening to them. And they play an amazing set. It's like glam rock, hard rock, and what I like is they say the goal on every show is to leave everyone dancing and screaming, shouting, and then when people leave the show, they have to be dripping in sweat and with smiles. That's their goal.
Yeah, no,
So
they're a fun
well
band.
for a
So
band.
I wish I could have seen them. I'm sure that they have the potential
Yeah,
to
and
be
I know that
bigger.
they've been around for a long time too, since 2012. But now is when people are catching up to them. They're drawing like a major following because of their performance.
Yeah, no,
And
they're
I really like the song "Could Have Been Me." And then Body Talks with Kesha. They have a song with Kesha, and they have a song Wild Child with Tom Morello playing
oh
the
yeah,
guitar.
I was listening to that today. Yes.
So if you want to start listening to them, I would recommend those songs. Like Could Have Been Me. I really liked too Prima Donna Like Me. And then those some the Body Talks with Kesha and Wild Child with Tom Morello.
Yeah, no, it's a cool band. And I
Yeah,
think
and
yeah, they
the voice remind me a little bit of like the Strokes, Arctic Monkeys. Only the voice because the music it's like very like mixing glam rock with hard rock.
yeah, if you like classic rock and that's glam rock, I think you would dig that band. Yeah, that's a great choice.
Yeah.
So the next band I'm gonna talk about, it's a band that's from, I believe they're from New York, Buffalo, New York, and they're like a stoner progressive type of band. And I have a vinyl from the album they released last year. Last year they released two albums. They're called King Buffalo. And look at this album cover. Isn't this great?
The cover is great.
Oh, it's such a cool cover. And they're really good. And they have a new album that's coming out in 1 month.
Oh,
And this guy right here just heard it today. Yeah, because they're a band that they're represented by one of the marketing people that send me music, and uh, I may interview the band.
nice.
They're gonna be on Europe tour now, and I'm gonna show the artwork of the new album. That new album is gonna be called Regenerator, and it's gonna be out, I think, September 2. Look at that artwork.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's awesome artwork. They have a single right now called Hours. And that music video reminds me a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins Tonight Tonight because it has like a moon that you have like a spaceship into it. I'm like, oh, that reminds me of the Smashing Pumpkins Tonight Tonight video. Not musically. Musically, they're way out there, more stoner, progressive. I like the vocals because the lead singer, you can understand him. And Regenerator, I just listened to this album today. I was listening to it. It's a great album. It has some long psychedelic songs and some more slower pace. But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give
from
too much away.
the band that you sent me, that's the one I like it most. Like I really like King Buffalo.
Oh yeah, King Buffalo. It's an amazing band, and they're getting a lot of buzz. They released two albums last year, The Burden of Restlessness, and the other one was more like free songs, more instrumental. But I like this one more. And everyone, look at that cover.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cover. The vinyl that I got for it, it's also. I want to show this beauty. Look at this
Oh, nice.
with all the colors, and it plays
It
great.
looks very metal, very rock.
They're I wouldn't consider them metal
No,
because
but the artwork looks very metal.
yeah, the artwork, but their lead singer is pretty cool, the way he sings. So do not sleep on King Buffalo, and hopefully I will interview these guys in a in a month and a half for the channel. I hope so because I'm obsessed with this band. So this is one that I really want to interview. So King
Nice.
Buffalo bands you should fucking know.
Well, the next band, I know you sent them to me, like you recommended them in the past, but when I catch them, like it's like, wow, why I haven't like
Name.
give more attention to this band, Brutus.
Oh yeah,
Brutus
that's a
is
great
it's
band.
a Belgian band, and the same thing happened. But these we went to the tent before they started, so they put them, and people were complaining because they put it in a small stage in a small tent too. But this we went to the and park in front of the stage before they start playing, so when all the people came for another stage, like we were already there, and I was like starstruck, amazed with the whole band, but more with the singer drummer.
Oh,
Like
she kicks ass.
yeah, she's a badass, she's beautiful, and her voice, her vocals, like very melodic. I like these bands because they mixes black metal with math rock and melodic vocals,
Yeah,
ethereal post rock,
and
and they,
punk.
yeah, they classify as post rock, post punk, shoegaze. I don't know. They mix a little bit of everything,
Yeah,
and it's like very hauntily, and like they build up the intensity with the songs. They're great musicians, but her, wow, like
yeah,
very complex. They remind me a little bit of Mugwai, like if you like those kind of bands, Mogwai's another great band. They remind me a little bit of Mogwai, at least live.
yeah.
And it's definitely a band you have to catch live. They have like a very great energy, a great performance.
Yeah, and you know that album that I'm showing the album artwork, it made my list of 2019 Nest. Their first album came out in 2017. It's called Burst, and
Mm,
they have a new single they released like a
yeah,
month ago,
it's called Dust.
Dust, and it's
Really good.
really good. Like I don't know if they're hopefully a new album this year or next year, because they haven't announced the album yet. But you know they're really great, and uh, just and she's good drumming. You know she's drumming and she's shouting, and it's
Yeah,
really
she started more like a drummer, and now she's getting used to be the singer too. Like, okay, I'm a singer,
yeah.
but
And
she has
you
a great
told me the
voice.
other day that in when you saw them live, it looked like the other two uh, people in the
Like,
band were looking at her for direction.
yeah, like she's playing, looking at them, and they're playing instead of looking at the people. They're looking at each other, and like she's leading. Like she's the one that uh, do everything and leads and takes the direction of everything. And they're like playing and like waiting for her approval,
Yeah,
like
no,
looking at
great.
her all the time. I know they two of them used to play in another band, and two of them and used to play in another band, and it's like, well, they're just three members, like drums, guitar, and bass. And it's like, okay, let's do a band. They didn't know what they wanted to play, but they knew they want to play together and do a band.
Yeah. If this would have been a few years ago, I would have talked about Royal Blood, but everyone knows them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started like more underground. Their first album is great. So I think we're down to one band, right? Or do we have two more bands?
No, you.
I have one more band. So the band that I'm going to talk about last, they released their first album in 2009, but they started gaining really more momentum in 2014 when they released this album. They're called Nothing More, and they're they're an alternative rock band, more commercial, but damn, they're fucking good. Like their lead singer, his name is Johnny Hawkins. He's got some great vocals, and this album. The first time I heard this album back in 2014, but back in December, and I already done my list for that year. I'm like, fuck, because it would have been. It's so good. This album has some great songs on it, you know, like Ocean Floor, This Is Time the Ballast, Christ Copyright, Mr. MTV, and you know they're very modern sounding, but you know they're really good. And the last album they released was in 2017, and this is the album cover. It's called The Stories We Tell Ourselves, and this was actually my album of the year for 2017. It was my album of the year because that was the year that the hurricane came, and this album came a little bit before the hurricane. And after the hurricane, I don't know why I listened to this album so much because it had a lot of like emotional songs. So I don't know, I really connected to it. And I was surprised that it was actually my album of the year because, you know, it's pretty commercial. It's a commercial, but, you know, good commercial, because sometimes people say commercial band and they think, oh, it's bad. And this album, The Stories We Tell Ourselves, it's like a concept album about different things in life and things like we tell each other. For example, there's a song called Fade In, Fade Out, that it's all about the Johnny, he's talking, or the person in the video, he's talking about how he had the relationship with his father, and his father is singing in the song like, follow your dreams, I watch you fading. So like, I watch you being born and you're gonna watch me fade out, you're gonna watch me die.
Oh, wow.
And the music video,
emotional.
it's very emotional, and that's the thing about this band, because you know there's a commercial rock bands that they have superficial lyrics, nothing more. Like if you listen to the music, they have like electronics mixed with alternative, but read the lyrics. The lyrics, I'm telling you, the lyrics are great. My favorite songs are from that album. I love the song Just Say When. And Just Say When is a ballad about a relationship that is nearing the end. So there's a part in the song that he says like, are we fools for each other, or did we just fools for rushing in? And then he says, have you had enough, or should we try again?
Oh, wow.
The glass was half full when we stopped pouring in. So I'm like, you listen to the lyrics and they're really great. They're going to release a new album this, I think in October. It's called Spirits. So,
new single.
Yeah, they have a new single, and no, they're releasing a new album, their first one since 2017. But I'm telling you, The Stories We Tell Ourselves, it was my album of the year because it's super emotional, and it's a concept album, and they have like interludes and they follow the story. And like, if you haven't listened to the album, well, listen it, but read the lyrics, because that's where the thing is.
And another band that I would like to give a shout out that I saw them also at Macu, it's Nothing But Thieves. I know they're not a new band either, but wow, they did an amazing performance. They put it in one of the big stages and people were like dancing and singing with them. Like, really good band. It's like an alternative indie hard rock. They mix a little bit of everything too. And it's the first band I saw like arriving at the festival. Like, oh, I like that band. Who's that? Nothing but tips.
Yeah,
And
no, and you know,
like
there's
rock is not dead. There's
no,
still bands doing cool stuff.
it's not dead. Oh, I think we could have talked about more bands, but we didn't know how long we would be talking about. But yeah, we would like to know more about bands that people would think are newer or are carrying that torch for rock and metal, because you know they're out there. You know, you just gotta listen to them. So this is the picture of the new album. Yeah, that looks too
Nothing
small.
more.
Yeah, and then you Nothing More Spirit, but like that looks super small. And I've heard the singles; they're pretty cool, but I really love that last album from them. So we want to know what bands you think are on, bands that you should know that should be on people's radar. Would you like us to do a follow-up video and talk about more newer bands? Because you know there's so many bands that you can cover, but we will try to focus on six. You know, not to oversaturate you guys with some newer bands. So we want to know what are some of the bands to watch. What other types of videos would you like us to do? Remember to You can follow Señorita Sabrosura. She's on YouTube as well, where she gives her Sabrosura recommendations and other things. And also our collaboration videos are over there too. So follow us on the social medias. And if you like what we're putting out, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, like I said on the last collaboration video, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah,
Subscribe.
subscribe so you can see more videos, more content.
Yeah, there's album reviews, there's interviews, collaborations, you name it. There's a little bit for everyone. So until next time, this is Hector the Shield on a couch.
Señorita Sabrosura.
And we'll see you on the next collaboration video.
Yeah.
Thank you, and listen to new fucking music. Yeah.
Hello.